Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Bucker Designs. Look how cute this unicorn is. Isn't she adorable? She is from the Hippo Happiness stamp set. And here are the coordinating dies. There's a unicorn die to cut her out. And I have created kind of a fun, whimsical scene for her up in the clouds with this adorable glimmer rainbow, which I'm going to show you how to make. All right, the other thing that I used here is this die right here from the Happy Dies. This is a different die set, but this piece right here is going to be what we use to create our clouds. You're going to need several pieces of cardstock. You're going to need, let's see, this first one goes here. This one is the next layer, and this one is the next layer. The measurements are over on my blog. You guys, by the way, click on the link. It'll take you over there. Under the last photo, you'll find this PDF, and here it is. And all those measurements that you need are right there. Now we've got these three pieces. You also need a scrap piece of cardstock. Now this is the one I used to make this, and I just kept it. It's a thicker piece of cardstock, a thick Whisper White, and I've cut it out. We're going to use that as our mask on all of these pieces. Then you need a piece of Whisper White that is 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to set that one. Let's see, this one we're not going to cut, so we'll set that aside. But let's go ahead and cut these pieces. And we want to do them all a little bit differently. So when I lay the die on here, I'm going to move it around. Over here I'll have, let's see, I'll have that big thing there in the center, the big cloud edge there. Okay, we'll run that one. And then the next one, I'm going to make that big cloud, the big hump, if you will, over on that side. And then this time, I think I will put, now what I could do is use this as the back side of the paper. So I will move, what I'm trying to do is create different cloud arrangements so that my clouds aren't all the same on the edges. And I'm going to do this one over on the left, but I'm going to flip it and use the other side. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. All right, so when I layer these, I didn't want the clouds to all be the same. So I think what I'll do is I'll take this one and flip it that way so that that hump is over there on that side. All right, and our clouds look all a little bit different. Now we've got our final fourth piece. You're going to need to get a piece of scrap paper, and we'll start with the back piece. And I like to take a little bit of adhesive, just a little bit, and put it on the back so that my paper won't slip around. I'm going to use Balmy Blue and a Stampin' Sponge. I'm going to take this is my mask piece that I cut out of thick Whisper White, and I'm just going to start inking those edges. And then I'm going to move it over a little bit down here and just keep going down. Okay, maybe move this one over. Maybe we'll flip it. Let's see, we'll use the other side. Okay, and we'll do one more down here. Now we don't have to go all the way down because we have all these layers. All right, now I'm going to move that piece out of the way, and we'll do the next piece. Same mask, and the more ink you add, the darker your layers will be. And I actually inked, well, I guess I'll just show you in a second. I took the edges of each of my pieces and inked them extra dark so they would really stand out. Okay, so I kind of like to do that up there on the top, make those a little bit darker. Okay, our next piece. Looks like my sponge is coming apart. I've used it so much. Again, those edges. And we've got one more piece, our small piece. All right. Okay, let's move that out of the way. And let's look at these. Let's layer them up and see how they look. Make sure I don't need to go back and add any color anywhere. Pretty good. Now on this one, the third largest, I'm going to take my 1.5 inch circle and make a circle right there. I'm going to go back with my ink and ink those edges like that. All right, that's going to be where our little unicorn goes. And before I layer everything up, I'm going to actually stamp the sentiment too, so that it's nice and flat. When in doubt, be a unicorn. Isn't that so cute? All right, let's layer these up. We're going to start with this one. Love my dimensionals. All right. Line up those bottom edges. Okay, now let's do, whoops. Let's do the next layer. Like that. And last but not least, our small layer. Now this card has lots of dimensions, so if you're going to mail it, you're going to need to up your postage for sure. All right, now I have a Whisper White card base. This is thick Whisper White, and yet again we've got another layer of dimensionals, and we're going to put this right here on this card base. Right there. All right, we are ready for our unicorn and our rainbow. To line up these little critters, I have found the best way is to use your Stamparatus. I really don't, I'm not talented enough layering things up. Sometimes I can, but I just find if I will use my Stamparatus, I will not be frustrated at all with trying to get these guys to layer up. Okay, we're going to start, let's start with a solid right here. And we're going to stamp him, the solid, the back side of the image really, in Highland Heather. All right, bring it down and stamp. Okay, now we're going to take that one off and take the next layer. And we're going to line it up, and you really want to look at those legs, get those lined up, and then look at the ears and get it all nice and lined up. Let me pull it down so I can see. Yep, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, pick it up, and this time we're going to do Gorgeous Grape. There we go, so cute. All right, last but not least, the little face. And this little face has these little nostril. Let me grab my scissors. It sticks to my finger. So if I take my scissors and move it around, you can match the little nostrils up with the little nose, and it'll be in the right place. All right. This time we're going to do Memento Black right there. Okay, now the last thing we need to stamp here is the horn for our unicorn. And I have to tell you that this little horn, I'm going to put it down here because it's a separate die. This little horn is quite possibly one of the smallest stamps and dies I've ever used. The die especially is very, very tiny. So you're going to have to be really careful not to lose it. Okay, let's get this, and let's get our die cut machine, and you're going to need a Post-it note for this horn die. It is so, so, so tiny. Okay, where are my dies? We've got our unicorn here and this teeny, 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 tiny little horn. And I just could not get the horn to line up and not move. So I took my Post-it note and let's turn it this way so the Post-it note's hanging off the back. And I'm going to line that up and I'm going to stick it down. Okay, that way it'll stay in its place. The horse or the unicorn is much easier. All right, run it through. And we'll get our unicorn out. And our little horn, it's in there somewhere. There it is. Can you guys see how tiny it is? So tiny. Yeah, Post-it note definitely helps. Okay, now let's bring our card back and we're going to put our little unicorn in on with dimensionals, which my dimensionals have fallen all the way to the back. All right, now he's going to be kind of leaping through that hole in the clouds like that. And I'm going to take my, you can use your fine tip glue or Tombow. And let's see, make sure I just get a tiny, tiny dot right there. And then if you have a pair of tweezers in your craft supply, this would be a good time to use it, especially if you have long nails. There we go. Isn't it cute? All right, the last thing we're going to do is make the rainbow. And I want to move these inks out of the way so I can show you this rainbow glimmer paper. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, it's stunning. So what I've done is I've taken just 1/4 of an inch strip off over here, okay? And then I'm going to cut it into 3-inch strips. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and that one's already 3 inches. And I think I'm going to do like this. We want red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. All right. Now, again, you probably want your liquid glue. I'm going to put just a little bit here on the back. I'm going to start right here, okay? And then we're going to let it dry. I can already see I've used a little bit too much glue on that one. Let's pick it up and move it so we don't see that glue. There we go. And now we'll do green. Slide it in. And I'm just going to put a few dots here. Our orange, yellow. And last but not least, our pink. And it looks like he's going up the rainbow, doesn't it? Let's see, I'm going to move that piece down a little bit like that. Now, we're going to give it some time to dry. And when it's dry, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to trim it off so that it's even with the cardstock. Last but not least, I feel like it just needed a little something else, so I brought out my clear and frosted epoxy drops and just added a few of these in our clouds. And that is it. What a special little card. I think a little child would love this, and a big child, an adult, would love this as well. All right, make sure you hop over to my blog and grab that PDF, and I hope you'll make one of these of your own, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.